Yitzi, what's up?
Hey, Tuvia, how are you doing?
Doing great. Do you have a minute to talk?
Sure.
So, at a simple glance at the Parshat Bamidbar, it seems like one of these boring Parshas, with just a lot of counting and a lot of names and parking and traveling. But, so you know how when you go to an event, you'll always find in the front table the rabbis and the wealthy people, and they're always sitting in front, on the bima, on the special tables. It's actually a source in our Parsha. The Ramban in our Parsha, when he actually talks about the way Am Yisrael parked and traveled, so he mentions that Yehuda was first because of the Malchut. But together with Yehuda were Yisachar, which were the Talmidei Chachamim, and Zvulun, which were the wealthy people. So if you ever need a source for who gets to sit in front, it's Parshat Bamidbar, the Ramban.
Yeah, it's one of these sources that you need to cut and save and pull out when you need. Actually talking about the flags, really it seems like a very technical thing. So they're in this place, they're in that place, this flag, that flag, what does it really matter? But there's actually a very interesting midrash, I think it's Midrash Rabbah, that says that Am Yisrael, when they received Torah, they saw all the malachim, and they saw that the malachim were all set up in flags. Sort of, it uses that word of dgalim. They were dgalim. And Am Yisrael saw this, and they wanted to have their own flags as well. And they turned to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and say, we also want flags like the malachim. And Hashem turns to them and says, you know what? Because you want them, I'm going to actually give them, and you're going to be able to have flags like malachim. Again, this seems like, who cares if I have flags, don't have flags? What are they? Oh my God, I also want a flag. But what does actually a flag mean? Why do we want flags? Kids want to run around with the flag of their baseball team, of their soccer team, or whatever. Why do you want a flag? And what does it mean, by the way, that the malachim had flags? I think we all know that, what differentiates malachim from humans, that's the name. Malach is a shaliach. So malachim, as opposed to human beings, were created for a certain duty. They know what that is. They're created for that. They can only do that. They can't go right or left. Us humans, we search our whole life for what's my purpose in this world. And when the Jews receiving Torah saw the malachim, they saw this. They saw that they all had flags in the sense, when I walk around with my flag, this is, who I am. All the malachim knew exactly who they were, what they belonged to, what their purpose in the world is. Bnei Yisrael saw this and said, we also want to know what we should be, what our uniqueness is, and what our tafkid and purpose in this world is. Setting up these flags is really HaKadosh Baruch Hu giving them, as he says, sort of a prize. Usually you have to wander forever till you find your purpose. I'm going to help you group together. You belong to Yehuda, you belong to Zvulun. It'll help you find your purpose as part of that group. Find what your flag is. And this is something, that we strive for our whole life, to really be able to succeed in finding that.
It's a great midrash. And actually I saw this week in Tivot Shalom, he brings down this midrash and he says a wonderful thing. He says that in a parsha where everything is about numbers and counting and Am Yisrael moving here and moving there and parking, you would think that it's all about the klal, and an individual can get lost within this big public, within this big tzibur. But this is exactly what the Galim come to teach us, says in Tivot Shalom, that every Jew has a purpose in this world. Just like you said, a degel is a person's purpose. A degel is a group's purpose. Every group, says in Tivot Shalom, engraves their purpose on a flag and uses it as a reminder for what their purpose is in life and where they're going and where they're heading. So it says in Tivot Shalom, that's exactly what Am Yisrael wanted and what Hashem gave them. He gave each Jew the purpose. Then Tivot Shalom says, Lekol Yehudi yesh shem umispar bifnei atzmo. Every individual, every Jew has a purpose for themselves within the Klal Yisrael. And that's a wonderful thing actually that we learn from that midrash, from this parsha, that I think is relevant for everybody, especially nowadays when you kind of get lost in the news and everything that's going on. And then when we're all individually to ourselves, but we're all stuck in this global affair that's going on, it's important to remember that each one of us has a unique proposition. Each one of us has a unique job to fulfill and to carry out in this world.
An interesting thing is that the midrash actually starts with the pasuk, V'diglo alai ahava, and says V'dilugo alai ahava, changes the word degel, flag, to dilug, which is skipping, and it says two people sitting and learning Torah, even if they're getting confused. They're messing up the words. They're skipping v'dilugo alay ahava. I have love to them. What's the connection there? But it connects back to what we're saying, that as long as this is Am Yisrael striving to search for purpose. As long as you're sitting down and you're trying to learn, you're doing your best. You have a clarity of that flag, of that degel. Even though on the way, you're skipping, you're falling, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will allow us to skip forward, will allow us to move forward, and He will accept our sort of offering, our efforts with love. And this is a great message as we step towards Shavuot coming up very soon.
Great, Yitzi. Thank you for your time.
Sure, anytime. Thanks for calling.
Great. We'll talk next week, Yitzi.